Welcome to Home Truth Nigeria. If you're new to this channel, please I'd like you to click the subscribe button, share, comment, do whatever it is you like. Today I'll be treating another very wonderful topic called what to do when dating a Nigerian. This is a very sensitive topic because when you talk about dating Nigerians, it's a topic that has to be kind of like treated with very high scrutiny. Not that Nigerians are bad people, but it's just you always have situations where people cry foul play because they, in one way or the other, were involved with Nigerians during a relationship or something. So I am Nigerian, yes, and I think it is very good of me to try to look or discuss certain issues, most especially for women who are in one way or the other dating Nigerians or are interested in dating Nigerians. Now, I like you to understand that Nigerians are not bad people, and that is why I'm making these videos. However, though, there are bad Nigerians and there are also good Nigerians, just as you have in every nationality. So I would try my best to show some few tips or to discuss some few things you can do before you give your heart to a Nigerian. So basically, before you date a Nigerian, here are the few things you need to do. I will discuss it here in Home Truth Nigeria. The first thing you may want to do when dating a Nigerian is to get to know his true identity. No matter how charming, how romantic or cheesy it is, when you meet a Nigerian, try as much as possible to lock up your heart until you get to establish his true identity. Now, what do I mean by his true identity? Try to know his surname. Now, there are a lot of Nigerians who come overseas with they don't answer their real names. They don't answer their real names. You don't have them answering their real names. Like you know a Nigerian, his name is Jackson, but no one knows him as Jackson back home. He's answering Michael or David or Gabriel or whatever, but no one knows him with that name back home. It is very, very important to understand his surname. What is your surname? What is your father's name? Where are you coming from? Getting to know his identity is very, very important. Another thing you need to know is his first name. Most Nigerians are named in this way. You have a traditional name and in most cases an English name. Not always the case. You have a traditional name and in most cases an English name. Now, I could understand when most Nigerians come overseas and they don't want to answer their Nigerian traditional name. It's not because they are not proud of it. In most cases, it's not because they want to hide it. It's simply because of mispronunciation. So in most cases, names that are given to Nigerians, they really mean something. So you could have someone who answers Uluwatobi, it means something. You could have someone who answers Uchechukwu, Chukwemeka. These names, they mean something. So when they come to the foreign land, they try to go with an English name that would be easier for everyone to pronounce. So most people try not to answer their English name or their first name for the sake of mispronunciation. However, though, there are people who try as much as possible, even if when they have English names, they try to answer something different in order to convey or to hide their identity. So it is very important to know his real name. Like if he tells you, look, hi, my name is Michael, my name is David, my name is Prince, just stop and say, what is your real name? What is your native name? That is the time. What is your native name? Now, there are a whole lot of Nigerians who answer English name that as a first given name. So if, in most cases, yes, but you need proof to validate the fact that that name is exactly his name. Another thing you need to know is his date of birth. What year were you born? These things form part of an individual's identity, your name and the year you were born. So you have cases where people are not actually living by the actual age they were born in. some have reduced their age so they could gain some, I don't know, whatever advantage from whatever country they're in. Try to get his real age. Ask him, what is your real age? You need proof. Look for proof. So the first thing you want to do is getting to know his identity. So you need answers. These three things would give you answers to your questions. So if you understand his surname, his first name, and his date of birth, these three things are very, very important. It will give you answers to your first question on getting to know his true identity. Now, some people may ask, how do I go about knowing this? What if how do I know if he's saying the truth based on what he's telling me? Well, the only way you can know the truth is by investigating. Investigation would always bring out the truth. You need to investigate. You need to give your best, try as much as possible to investigate. Now, if you love this guy or you're attracted to this Nigerian guy you've met, and you really want to be with him, but you at the same time want to play safe and to make sure you are not hot at the end of the whole thing, then you just have to investigate. Now, how do you investigate? One common way of investigating is going through his Facebook and Instagram. Going through his Facebook and Instagram. If he has Facebook, Facebook is something most Nigerians subscribe to. Most Nigerians are Facebook users. Instagram, not all, but a larger percentage of Nigerians are also they use Instagram. So what you want to do is you have to first of all check for friends who went to the same school with him. You don't need to tell him you're doing this. Just add him on Facebook, become his friends on Facebook. Just like, oh, I want to be your friend on Facebook. Just do that casually, and then try to know what school, high school, he has gone to. Try to first of all check friends who has gone to the same school with him. It may take you a greater chunk of your time, but just do it gradually and you will get there. One thing you want to do again is to check out his mutual friends. Look and understand who his mutual friends are. And this may sound funny. You need to check friends of his mutual friends. So friends of his mutual friends. You need to do your investigation. You really need to. This would keep you at a very safe place. So to find the truth, when you start investigating, just try to become his friends on Facebook, Instagram, monitor what he does there. I'm not trying to say you are policing him or something. No, you could just do that in a loving and a very easy way. Check for friends who went to the same school, where you could just ask them, so where did you go to school? Where did you go or make your high school or university? Just get this name, and then check for those people he's got on his friend list who went to the same high school with him and university with him. Something must always come up. Then you check for his mutual friends. You may be surprised. If he's married back home, he would put his wife back home as a mutual friend. Just check for that. Friends of mutual friends, something would always come out. I have seen people who went through this, and those who were being cheated on, they got answers they needed. So this form of investigation would give you a better understanding on knowing his true identity. Now, second thing you would like to know is to make sure he's not married back home. You would want to be very sure he's not married back home. Now, I'm not talking about being divorced. Well, if he's divorced, maybe he was married and he's divorced. Okay, that's a different case. But being sure that he's not married back home, like he has a wife or basically a family and he's trying to go into a relationship with you. You need to be very very sure about that, because this is something very typical of most Africans. I'm sorry to say, but this is something very typical of most Africans, where you have one family back in Africa and then you have another family where you live at present. So to eliminate this, I've always advised people to fly home. If you are dating a Nigerian and you want to be very sure that he has no family, I mean, if the relationship is serious, you guys are about getting married, or it is so serious that it's so clear that you may eventually get married, I always advise ladies, you know what, save up some money and fly home. Fly to Nigeria, go home. You know what, do that, go home. Now if he says, oh, I cannot go home because I don't have a permanent residency or any form of residential permit that makes me go to Nigeria and come back, I would discuss about that later. But if he has the means, the visa to go and come back, then he has to go home and everything. So this is very very important. So it is very good. Make sure that you go home, fly to Nigeria, take your time, book a plane ticket, both of you go home. Now another important thing you must do if you go home, try not to stay in a hotel. I always see a lot of ladies who when they visit Nigeria with their man, you know, I always see them staying in a hotel. They book hotel for 2 weeks. As I understand that she wants to be in a place that is very comfortable, enjoy her time and everything. But this may sound weird to some ladies, but don't stay in a hotel. Don't stay in a hotel. Now, staying in a hotel does not prove anything, because the least amount of time you would get to know his actual family, you may not spend close to 4 or 5 hours with them and you're back to your hotel. I always propose staying in the same house, no matter how small, no matter how choked, no matter how crowded it is. Stay in the same house. Now, one thing you must understand about Nigerians is Nigerians don't complain about space. No matter how small the house is, they will create a space for you to live or to sleep or to pass some few nights. What this does is, it may be uncomfortable for you, but you would really get to understand if that is his real family, if that is his real parents, brother, sister, or if it's not some arranged family. I always say this: try as much as possible to stay in the same house. Don't stay in a hotel. You don't need to stay in no hotel. Stay in the same house. Tell him, you know what, I don't care, we'll go into the same, we'll go in there. I don't mind sleeping on the floor, I don't mind sleeping on the couch, I don't mind couch surfing. Just stay in the same house, no matter how small it is. Now, if it is a situation where you are dating a Nigerian and he has no visa to go home, then you need to call Nigeria. And now this is very simple. Just scroll through his phone, tell him to give you a number of whoever it is, his mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, cousin. Let him give you the number and then call home. Call home. You don't always have to speak to his family whenever he calls. Take up your phone and then call home without him calling home. You know, so many ladies always have to wait for their boyfriend or fiance or the Nigerian guy they're dating to call home first before they can actually speak. No, take up the phone and call home. Just call and introduce yourself to the family. You may be shocked at what you will hear. So I hope this few tips helps someone out there. I just trying my best to see if this would help someone understanding the true identity of an Nigerian you're dating, and also trying to make sure he's not married. These are two most important things to do when dating a Nigerian. Thank you for listening to this video. Have a lovely day. Home Truth Nigeria. Peace out. When